You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about Bill Belichick and the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones, because Jerry Jones has come out and made some comments that ought to have Mike McCarthy a little bit nervous right now. And I think John and I have both talked about this, Matrix and myself, about the fact that Jerry Jones is going to sniff around Bill Belichick. If the Patriots decide to move off of Bill, then Jerry Jones is going to at least sniff around. And if Mike McCarthy has a early exit or an ugly exit, all right? In other words, let's say they even get as far as the NFC Championship game. But if they get beat by 24-30, blown out, the doors blown off of them, the Niners stomp their asses into the ground, I think Jerry Jones is going to look to move off Mike McCarthy, all right? And there's a lot of people now that think Bill Belichick and Jerry Jones could be a thing. Now, keep in mind, and I know a lot of people will be like, well, Steven and Jerry will never let Bill have personnel control. Well, Bill came out yesterday and said he's willing to let personnel control go for the Patriots. So why wouldn't he let Steven and Jerry keep doing personnel moves? Now, it may eventually get to him, but at Bill Belichick's age, he's only looking to coach 3 to 4 more seasons anyway. And Jerry Jones is getting old. He wants another ring before he dies. And Bill Belichick would love to win another ring. Why? Because he gets to prove a point after Tom Brady won a ring with the Bucs. This move could end up making some sense. At least you can certainly draw the lines to it. This is Florio, and then we got Bleacher Report. Man, there's a bunch of people in this Bleacher Report article that Albert Breer, Peter King, and a lot of it, there's some Dallas winds blowing with Belichick. The Cowboys have won the NFC East. They're the number 2 seed in the NFC. That should mean that Mike McCarthy definitely will be back in 2024. Asked specifically about McCarthy's future after Sunday's win over the Commanders, owner Jerry Jones said, quote, "We'll see how each game goes in the playoffs." What? Wow. That answer leaves the door open for a coaching change when the Cowboys lose in the playoffs, and when the loss can be traced to a decision made by McCarthy. You know, the one thing that got lost in that Lions-Cowboys debacle is the fact that Mike McCarthy made a couple of moves that put the Lions back in that game to begin with. I mean, seriously. Number one, he called a pass play at some point, and Dak ended up throwing it out of bounds. It stopped the clock. Anyway, it would have gotten a lot more publicity if the Dallas would have ended up blowing that game. That would have been everything that everybody would have been talking about. Some believe Patriots coach Bill Belichick is on the radar. Okay, so Florio just brought it up. If the Cowboys decide to try to take a potential championship roster to the next level, it would require both Jones and Belichick to bend a little or a lot, but it could give Belichick his best chance to chase a Super Bowl championship. Okay, Jerry's pockets are very deep, all right? And it's going to take deep pockets to get Belichick. So the other thing, Dan Quinn's is a hot coaching candidate, all right? Which means if he was to leave, they've got to do something with that defense. And I do know Bill Belichick looks at Micah Parsons as being the current day version, as close as you can get, to Lawrence Taylor, who is Bill Belichick's favorite player of all time. So think about that. There are some real lines to draw. And Dallas is, I don't know that they're even a sleeper at this point. Like, there's starting to be some fire here with Dallas and Belichick. The Falcons is another one that all of a sudden has roared into the picture on Belichick. The Dallas Cowboys are, quote, a sleeper candidate for head coach Bill Belichick if he were to move on from the Patriots, according to one NFL executive interviewed by The Athletic's Mike Sandow. Wow, Sandow's a good guy, too. He knows his shit. Albert Breer of the MMQB reported on Rich Eisen's show in November the Cowboys and Commanders were the franchises most connected with the legendary coach. Now, NBC Sports' Peter King also written days earlier that Dallas, quote, could be in play, depending on the status of Mike McCarthy. I think one statement surprised me in the post-Week 18 football. It was this from Jerry Jones, asked about the future of head coach Mike McCarthy. We'll see how each game goes in the playoffs, Jones said. When I read that, my first thought was Jones wants insurance in case Dallas has an embarrassing end to the season. My second thought, Jones wants a shot at Bill Belichick. Whoa. The Cowboys won 12 games for the third straight season and claimed their second NFC East title under McCarthy. Still, his job might be far from safe despite the consistent success he has delivered in the regular season. Adam Schefter reported Saturday, there's a sense, quote, McCarthy will be measured by how Dallas's final game go. Oh, all right, folks. You got Schefter, you got Peter King, you got Albert Breer, you got Mike Sandow. This is officially a thing. When that many insiders not connected to each other all have fire burning for Mike McCarthy's job, he's in trouble. He's in trouble. If the Cowboys play well in the postseason, McCarthy would have an excellent chance to keep his job. But if they struggle and they end the season with an embarrassing loss, as has happened in each the past 2 years, then some say that change could come to Dallas. Some of the sheen has come off of Belichick thanks to the Patriots' struggles after Tom Brady's departure. New England's 4-13 record is in 2023 was his worst finish ever, but the 71-year-old is still seemingly suited for a contender that just needs one more push to get over the top. In terms of short-term solutions, it's tough to find a better replacement for McCarthy if Jones determines change is required on the sideline. The other thing to consider here is when it comes to things like salary, we don't have a state income tax here in Texas, folks. We don't. That'd be another reason why Tampa Bay would look awfully attractive to Belichick, right? He gets to keep some of that money, all right? And maybe that can offset cost of salary, how much he's willing to take. He gets to play his old team, the Giants, twice a year. I mean, there's that. That's interesting. Like I said, when that many different insiders and all big ones, Peter King, Albert Breer, Adam Schefter, that's Mike Sandow. He's a really, really damn good NFL insider. When 4 different insiders are all talking Belichick and Dallas, that's exactly what Jerry's comment was about. I want to see what happens with Bill Belichick. He did it with Parcells, and Belichick is the biggest branch off of Parcells' tree. I mean, if he's willing to concede personnel decisions, which he's willing to do for the Patriots, the Cowboys, I'm not a Cowboys fan at all. My wife is. But they are loaded with talent. Dan Quinn leaves. Belichick takes over the defense. You know what? The Patriots defense was still really damn good this year with not nearly the talent that Dallas has. There is nothing resembling Micah Parsons on the Patriots roster. Man, you want to talk about, I always talk about, I want to see things that are interesting in the NFL happen. Belichick and Dallas, that's a code red. That's really interesting. Crazy interesting. Already got a quarterback, got weapons, provided he doesn't come in and try to trade them all away, but I'm sure Jerry wouldn't let him. Tell me what you think. Wow, that's a big deal. Peace, I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.